produce called Brain Vitality that they make. And then the last part will share some testimonials, and we'll then hear from Tom Mauer Jr. So we've got a great 30 minutes ahead of us. So let's jump into the presentation. And let me start here. Okay, so as I mentioned, I wanted to just talk a little bit about my father's story, and it'll just kind of get you thinking. And there's some information in here that will be quite valuable, hopefully to you for future reference. You might be able to share it with someone else as well. So my father's story is about early onset Alzheimer's, and he developed Alzheimer's at the age of 54. And when he first started having memory issues, the first symptom was depression. And at first we thought perhaps hopefully he's just got depression and that's what's causing memory loss. But in fact, it was the other way around. He had memory loss, which was making him feel depressed. I noticed that he potted the black ball on my 21st birthday. So we were playing pool and started the game of pool. And the first thing he did was hit the black ball in. And of course, anyone who's played pool before knows that's the last thing that you do. So that was kind of the first sign. And then there was little things that kept happening as it progressed. He started getting into trouble at work, and he was getting warnings at work. And then he became really depressed. He then got fired, and then he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, as I mentioned. Because the memory loss happened when he was so young, it was quite aggressive compared to older people who get it. So if you get Alzheimer's or start getting memory loss as you age, it's a lot slower. But if you're quite young, it can be aggressive. And I actually remember seeing him sitting in a nursing home with other 80-year-olds. So it wasn't long till he couldn't manage, my mum couldn't manage him, and he went into a nursing home. And there was a fairly young man sitting with people who were much older than him. So it was sort of at that point I became very interested in finding out what was the possible cause, or what are contributing factors to losing your memory, particularly at such a young age too. And that's when I was really looking for solutions. And I did start by looking at toxins, which I'll get into on the next slide. I did start by looking at toxins, and someone had left a toxic guide at the gym, which I've shared on previous calls, and I gave that number a call and then was introduced to Tom's company. And I'll talk a little bit about Sisel in a few minutes, but I just wanted to give you some background information into my experience with this topic and how this actually led me to the company that I'm talking about tonight. So obviously, after I picked up the guide, she came around, did a presentation, and I was really impressed with the quality of the products that she was talking about, and that they manufactured their own, which I'll touch on. But let me come back to the factors that I believe, and this is some of the things I wanted to share tonight too, that could be helpful for you or someone that you know. So just to give you this information in regards to, after doing some research and trying to figure out what are the main things that could have been contributing to his illness. And at the time, by the way, I did not know this, but after the fact, I came to learn all this information. So, he liked his desserts and drank beer like, well, I won't say most, many people. So we know that like alcohol is a contributing factor to memory loss. It's not a good thing to be doing it all the time. He also had high blood pressure, so that was a sign that his arteries weren't working that well and that he was having problems with blood flow. And of course, if you've got blood flow issues, that will also impact your brain as well. So you do want to get on top of your blood pressure issues however you can. He worked with heavy metals. He was breathing in soldering smoke. So he was an aircraft maintenance engineer, and he used to sit there soldering away keyboards and electrical boards, should I say, for aeroplanes. And he was breathing in that soldering smoke. And I remember going into the room at his work, and the whole room was filled with smoke. And back then they didn't even have ventilation or anything like this. And there was guys sitting around a table soldering away, breathing in this smoke. Now, he did that for many, many years, and so obviously the accumulation of that couldn't be good. He also worked on plane engines, and so was exposed to quite a lot of petrochemicals in that process. And these are two key parts here, and these things you may not be aware of. So he was a compound heterozygote for hemochromatosis gene, and so people who have hemochromatosis store too much iron, and the challenge with having too much iron is that it can pass the blood-brain barrier and store in the organs, including the liver. And when they did an autopsy on him, we discovered that he did have iron in his brain that had passed through, they believe was contributing to that. So that is also now a noted cause or contributing factor to memory loss. And then he had high homocysteine levels. So high homocysteine levels, you can ask your healthcare practitioner for this test, can be a sign of vitamin B12 deficiency or B6. So that's important to get on top of it. So he had this going on as well. He did take quite a few antacids, so that can compound the deficiency of B12. He also had a stomach ulcer and lost his spleen at 17. So these were factors that I believe were contributing to his decline at such a young age, and having them layered upon one another really, I think, accelerated his condition. So these are important things to note with memory, and the things that obviously what can you do to keep your brain healthy. So limit saturated fats and trans fats. They're not good for the brain. We want to be eating plenty of plant-based foods, lots of fruit and vegetables. The recommended intake for fruit and vegetables is 2 servings of fruit a day and 5 servings of vegetables every day. A serving of vegetables is 75 grams, so 375 grams of vegetables a day is recommended for all Australians, and not that many people get that many vegetables. Eating foods rich in vitamin E, so your leafy greens, whole grains, nuts and seeds. And then the last 3 points to take away from this short story before we jump into what supplement you can take to also support brain health is, get your B12 levels checked by your doctor or healthcare practitioner, and also check your iron levels. So you would have heard many people talk about having not enough iron, but having too much iron is detrimental as well. So you do want to get that checked and get those levels in balance. And then, of course, minimize your exposure to toxins. So as you've heard from that story, he was very much exposed to a toxic environment, both the air that he was breathing and what he was touching as well over a prolonged period of time. So I believe that all these factors contributed to his decline, and I wanted to share that with you tonight. And then that leads me on to now talking about what sort of supplementation can one take to support a healthy brain. So obviously I was quite excited when I found out about Sisel and the products they produce, in particular this product, Brain Vitality. Let me just tell you a little bit of background about Sisel. So they are a research and development company. So they research the research, and they use the best of science and nature and combine that together in their products. Their research facility is on their at their manufacturing place, which is Supernaturals. So they manufacture all the products there, and they also do the research and development on that premise. They're completely debt-free, so they're not going to go out of business anytime soon, and they have no shareholders to appease. So we know that we're getting a really high-quality product because that's their primary focus. They are protected by a dynasty trust, so they're going to be handed down through the generations, and you can see the picture on the right of the Mao family, Tom and his 2 sons, Caden and Tom, and Liesel. And as I mentioned, Supernaturals, which I was fortunate enough to visit a month or so ago, and went through that facility and was really taken back by how much love and care and details put into the manufacturing process, and how rigorous they are in terms of testing ingredients, making sure the ingredients don't have any contaminants, that they're of very high quality, so that each batch of product that is made is consistent, and they use a method called liquid chromatography. So that's a little bit about Sisel, and so it's really a standout company as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure that after hearing this information, you'd be quite impressed by that information too. So it's quite unique, and I don't really know many other companies that are like Sisel at all. So Sisel does stand for Science, Innovation, Success, Energy, and Longevity. And it was co-founded by Tom Mauer Jr. and his late father in 2006. So they have been around a long time with continual growth, and this is what we're expecting into the future as well. Sisel are very committed to growing the Australia-New Zealand market, and we'll be investing a lot in this market as well. So now we're going to jump into the topic of brain vitality, and just a quick disclaimer: the ingredients in the presentation are not intended to treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness. And if you're unwell, do consult your healthcare provider, particularly if you have a medical condition. The statements in this presentation have not been evaluated by the FDA. Okay, so let me just bring this down here. So give your brain and body unparalleled support. So the human brain is the largest internal organ in the body and one of the most susceptible to deterioration through the aging process. As we age, our brain starts to decline slowly, and the older we get, the faster it happens. We actually start to decline, women around about 23 and men around 25 years of age. We start the aging process, and that's where the body's cells are breaking down faster than what the body can repair. So for this reason, Sisel developed Brain Vitality, and so we're using a really rich combination of powerful ingredients that result in supercharged supplement, specifically designed to take your brain game to the next level. So there's 90 capsules in the bottle, and the recommended dose is 4 capsules a day. Okay, so the next slide is the Brain Vitality gives you a youthful cognitive thinking. It's designed to energize your brain cells. It supports the telomeres, which is really important as we age. These start to shorten, so we really want nutrition for telomeres and biological precursor processes. Okay, now we're going to talk a little bit about the ingredients, and you can see why this particular supplement is really a standout. We're really talking about serious nutrition for the brain. So we've got magnesium threonate in there, and this is a more bioavailable form of magnesium. It can actually pass the blood-brain barrier, and it has shown support for cognitive function. And it's also has a good ability to boost magnesium levels in the brain. And so this may aid in improved memory, learning, and overall brain health. And what's interesting as I go through these ingredients, if you were to source these ingredients individually, you'd find that it'd be very expensive. And Sisel really have combined these all into the one supplement, which is fantastic. So we've got DMAE in there. So this supports cognitive function, such as mental clarity and focus. And it also helps the production of acetylcholine. It's a neurotransmitter associated with memory, learning, and overall cognitive performance. We've got B9 in there. So we've got the active form of B9 in there, which is folate, and this can readily be absorbed by the body, ensuring efficient utilization, supporting crucial processes like neural transmitter synthesis, which can enhance mood and cognitive function. Curcuma longa. So this is from turmeric, and this supports cognition, memory, and attention span, and is more of a bioavailable than traditional turmeric supplements. So, often people take turmeric, but you really want the active ingredient in the turmeric. So that's in there. And then the fenugreek galactomanins. These may stimulate and regenerate brain cells. And fenugreek may also improve libido, mood, and mental awareness in both men and women. So this is a type of fiber. And we've got the Bacopa moneri, and this contains saffian compounds which can help the brain communicate with itself. Bacopa promotes healthy brain functions that involve cognition, learning, and memory. We've got Alpha-GPC, and so this is recognized for its role in supporting cognitive function and providing a bioavailable form of choline. So this is a precursor to acetylcholine. Alpha-Lipoic acid, this has been suggested to support cognitive function by promoting mitochondrial health and energy production, contributing to improved mental clarity and overall brain performance. So we've got phospholipids in there, and they're really important because they're a fat-like substance. They contain phosphorus. They're actually found in cell membranes, and especially in the brain. They've also been associated with cognitive benefits, including improved memory, attention, and overall mental clarity by supporting the structural integrity and function of brain cell membranes. Additionally, it may also help mitigate the effects of stress on the brain and promote a more balanced and resilient cognitive state. We've got milk thistle in there, and this may aid in neural protection and has applications for overall brain function. And then finally, we've got B6 and D3 in there. So B6 is essential for brain health. It plays a crucial role in neurotransmitter synthesis, such as serotonin, dopamine, and it contributes to mood regulation and cognitive function. And then vitamin D3, there's some in there as well that helps with neuroprotection. So it's really important to make sure you do have adequate levels of vitamin D, and you can get these tested by your healthcare practitioner. But this is in the supplement, and so together all of these ingredients really work synergistically together to have a great impact on overall brain function and memory. So now I'm going to share a couple of short testimonials. You may have heard one of them, but it is such a fantastic testimonial. The other you have not heard. So there is let me just go to another screen here. So there is a website that you can go to. Let me share this here. It is called lookupbrainhealth.com. It's actually just a web page. It was put together by someone in the US, and it has some great information on brain vitality. And we've got 2 testimonials on this page that I want to share with you. There's another audio on there from Tom Senior, and the fact sheet on there is a little out of date, but it's a great resource nevertheless. So I thought I would share this with you. So let me just turn on the audio and we'll listen to the first one.
So any questions for Lori or a statement about what you've heard today, guys? Don't be shy. You know, this group is
my name is Randy.
Yes, Randy.
And I had a stroke. And for years, I was a zombie. You probably saw me in the movies.
I remember talking to you, Randy. Yeah.
I couldn't talk, walk, nothing. I started taking mainly at first the brain fatality.
Mm-hmm.
And it saved my life. And people don't understand until something like this happens to you. And Jeff White and Steve Scott were the ones that turned me on to Sisel. And I can talk now. I can walk. I still need a cane every once in a while. But I take, the Eternity. I have arthritis, so I take Revere and Super Omegas and the Body Shield. It changes your life. And I've spent a lot of time with hospitals and stuff, and I see the amount of people that need this. To me, Absolutely. It's the most important thing there is out there. This will change your life health-wise, and then after that, you can get into the money stuff. But initially, it will change your life health-wise.
Randy, I remember talking to you, and that is such a powerful story. We've got other stories like that, but that puts an obligation back on us because we can tell people this could not change your life, change your store. Let's say change your store, and you will change your life.
Hi, I'm Denise Survey, and when our son started school, he was wild and crazy and out of control. Never mean or hurtful, but just wound tight all the time. Hands all over, be in the hallway, couldn't keep his mouth quiet. He just couldn't focus to get the work done. His teacher said he can't get through 2 math problems in 45 minutes with her standing right over the top of him. He would be just kind of out of control, so then you'd get him home and say, Logan, why were you like you were at school? Or why were you doing what you were doing at Boy Scouts? And every time he would go, I don't know, Mom. And he would be so frustrated with himself. He didn't like who he was when he was like that. So he said to me one day, he said, Mama, I think I should just go to heaven and you should get a different little boy. Talk about break your heart. And he would go by my mom and dad and he would talk about how he should die. And oh my God, I feared at 6 years old I was going to have a son that was going to someday take his life or get with the wrong crowd because he wasn't making good choices. And anyway, I talked to Tom Maurer Sr., who developed the Sisel Brain Vitality, and asked him if I could give it to Logan. And he said, absolutely. He said, the only thing that'll happen is over time, you'll see his mental capacity will increase by about a grade. Like, well, that's a problem to have. That sounds good. So what I did was I started giving him one capsule on the way to school in the morning, and I told no one. I did not want the teachers to think they saw something, to imagine anything. I just wanted the facts. The first week when I went to pick up Logan, his teacher said, hey, Denise, I used Logan for the model student today. I said, what? She said, you know, like everyone should be acting like Logan. And I'm like, oh my God. Second week, good in the morning. Good again, but better in the morning than the afternoon. And on the third week, I forgot to give it to him on Monday. So I emailed the teacher, how was today? She sends back, oh my God, it was a nightmare. We had a fire drill. His hands were all over everyone. He couldn't keep his mouth quiet. She said it was terrible. So next day, I give him one, talk with the teacher after school, reiterate day before was not good. And I asked her, how was today? And she said, Denise, today was like all the other days have been lately except for yesterday. She said, he comes in, he's focused, he does his work. And she goes, he does a great job. I just don't understand what happens at 11:45. I said, what? She said, 11:45, like clockwork. I said, oh my God, Abby. I said, I haven't told you this, but I've been giving Logan an all-natural supplement on the way to school in the morning, and I forgot to give it to him yesterday. She laughs and says, oh my God, could you give it to him again in the afternoon? And I said, there's really no reason why I can't. So started to give it to him again in the afternoon. And I have got to tell you, he is a changed child, night and day. He is now in 4th grade. He is reading at a 7th grade level. In testing, he tested doing middle school math, and he's a total changed child. I never hear him talk about how he should die anymore. He just is a total changed child. At his school, they do a report card, but then they do a narrative also about the student, so the parents get a bird's eye view. The letter that they wrote about him, that his teacher wrote, is crazy. Just a line or two. Logan Shaden is ultra intelligent. It is truly mind-boggling how his mind is able to think abstractly and retain information. And he talks about how when he applies himself, he ranks amongst the greatest learners that I have had at any level. It has been life-changing, literally, for Logan, for us. Sisel Brain Vitality. Thank you, Tom. It is absolutely the best.
What a great testimonial. So I thought I'd also share a testimonial of mine. So last weekend, I was quite tired, had a big week. And when I get tired, I notice, my mood can be a little bit up and down. It's not as kind of balanced. I was feeling a bit teary. And so I took some Brain Vitality. And then about half an hour later, I decided to take some more. So I actually ended up doing a double dose. And I noticed a really big difference in my mood, my concentration, my overall well-being. So I wanted to share that because, as we are impacted by not getting enough sleep, our neurotransmitters can kind of be out of balance. And the Sisel Brain Vitality appears to have the ingredients that really do support neurotransmitters and brain function. So, I don't think that it was a coincidence that I felt an improvement in mood. So I thought I would share that story with you today because, it could be very helpful to you. So we're going to finish the last 5 minutes and we're going to hear from Tom Maurer Jr. And he's going to just kind of round this topic off for you and talk about also some healthy lifestyle choices or things that you can do that do support brain function as well. So let's just go to that video now.
Hi, I'm Tom Maurer Jr., the Chief Scientist here at Sisel International, and today I wanted to take a moment and talk about some new additions to our incredible formula, Brain Vitality. Brain Vitality was designed to help us nutritionally support so many different cognitive functions that we have in the brain. But as we know, science never rests, new developments occur, and the number one mission here at Sisel is to make the most advanced products. So as I've gone through and done additional research, it's time to go to the next level with a brand new Brain Vitality formulation. Now, in the new Brain Vitality, I've added an ingredient that we have used in the past, DMAE. This is naturally produced within our body. We can find natural sources such as fatty fish oils in salmon and sardines and anchovies. They contain this. But when we concentrate it, the studies that we have researched show that there are great benefits. And the areas of research that they're looking the most to are ADHD, Alzheimer's, dementia, depression. It also supports an increase of acetylcholine. Now, that is a neurotransmitter that's crucial for helping nerve cells send signals. Acetylcholine also helps to regulate many functions controlled within the brain, including REM sleep. This is that rapid eye movement that we have for a short period of time during sleep that is the most beneficial. We get the most rest. It's when human growth hormone is produced during this cycle. That's when our body repairs itself. So DMAE is one of those building blocks that we need to get the biggest bang for our buck when we're at rest. Now, also it helps with muscle contractions and pain responses. Science is really going after this ingredient, and it looks so promising. It may help to also prevent the buildup of beta amyloid, which is a plaque that builds up that also has been linked to dementia and Alzheimer's. These are age-related diseases, and this is probably one of the biggest markets out there for brain nutritional supplements. Everyone's concerned about memory loss. Everyone's concerned about a decline in brain function. This ingredient is beneficial for brain health, especially as we age. Now, another addition that we've added to the new Brain Vitality formulation is methyl tetrahydrofolate. It's a natural form of folate. Now, this molecule is essential in neurotransmitter synthesis, another key component as we try and increase the amount of neurotransmitters we have to increase our body and our brain's ability to send signals and to communicate with other cells. Might be a muscle cell, might be another neuron in the brain, but it is very vital for that. So now we have methyl tetrahydrofolate, which is a natural ingredient also. Magnesium threonate. With the addition of this, we have the most bioavailable form of magnesium to the brain. Currently, 50 to 80%, depending on the study, of people in America are deficient in magnesium. But we know if we have the optimal levels of magnesium, it helps to calm and quiet the brain, which can help us to get a better night's sleep and focus. With the increased magnesium, it also increases the synaptic density, the amount of these location sites for neurotransmitters. And also it has been shown to increase with the plasticity of the brain. We know as we become older, we see it in dementia and Alzheimer's, we get plaque buildup and things become more rigid. This helps to keep it more plastic and more flexible. Brain Vitality is an incredible nutritional support for those who want the latest, greatest that science has to offer for nutritional support. You couple this with lowering your stress levels, getting a better night's sleep, eating right, weight management, socialization, doing different types of math problems and interaction. Combine all these with brain vitality, and you're doing the very most that you can do to have a very healthy brain and get the most out of life, because that's what Sisel is all about. Thank you.
So that concludes tonight's presentation. I'm going to stop the share here. So yeah, if you'd like more information, please do get back to the person who invited you this evening. And thanks for joining us this evening. I hope you have a great night and join us next week.
Thanks, Katie.
Thanks.
Thank you. It was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is brain vitality. Now, it is actually on special this month. Well, technically, it's in a special this month. It's probably more to the point. I'll just bring that up for you. Sorry. So there we go. So this is the Sisel website, www.sisel.net/Gendera is my link. And if you are looking for, if you're looking for the brain vitality, you come into focus and you go under health and you scroll down through all of the other wonderful products that have been helping so much. The age pill's amazing. Stemmolytic is another product that's actually got the activated vitamin B as well. So Katie mentioned that the brain vitality does, which is, this is the brain vitality. So you can, this is the preferred customer pricing. If you get as a wholesale buyer, you get 10% off straight away. And wholesale buyer a distributor doesn't mean that you're actually selling it to anybody else, because Sisel products are not for retail. But yeah, so you can order the brain vitality on its own, or for this month, they've actually got it in a special. So you find it by going to featured, and there she is. So it's got the 2 meal replacement shakes, the chocolate and the vanilla. It's got this mouthwash and the toothpaste, as well as the brain vitality and the super omega plus, which is also fantastic for brain function. So it's got lots of different information on here on the website. So that is how you do that. If you were wanting to open up an account with Sisel, you just come through here, click on join, select which country you're in. I'm in Australia. Join as a distributor, so you're distributing to yourself. You'll also get a referral code as well, and you get to pick what that referral code is. When I started with the Hit the Ground Running pack, which is this one here, and it's got lots of really good products just to give you that extra boost of energy, decrease the toxins in your system, and just help your body function better. So you click add to cart, and then you come down. You can, I mean, there are others as well, like this weight loss pack and all that sort of thing, or the personal care products, or skincare products. Click continue. Then you pop in your name, your address, date of birth, all those details. Make sure you click that you would like to receive promotional emails, because that'll let you know what the monthly promotions are. And this is where you put in what you would like for your username and promo code. So clearly, I think 123 apparently it's not available. So you can't use 123, but something nice and simple that you can tell people, like your initials work, if that works. So there you go. My initials are available. But just something nice and simple that you can tell people, or you might want to come up with some maybe you want to have Joy. So Joy is not available. Life probably isn't available either. But, you can see what I mean, though. So go through and find what you want to do. You might want to do Life 1, 2, 3. There you go. That one's available. And then stick your password in, re-enter your password. You click show password if you need to be told what it is. Make sure you hit the I agree to Sisel's terms and conditions. Hit I'm not a robot and hit continue. Now, it is very different on a mobile, but yeah, I hope you found that helpful. And you do need to scroll right. It gives you the opportunity to actually add other products to your cart on the next page after you hit continue. Then you have to scroll down to the bottom and hit go to cart. So I hope you found that helpful. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment below, and make sure you get back to the person that shared this video with you, because there is actually referral bonuses as well. And Sisel like to be able to say thank you to the people that bring in new business for them. So that's basically it. So where was it? So this is August's promo. You got the Sisel Weight Management Chocolate, Sisel Lean. So the 2 Sisel Leans, vanilla and chocolate, the Super Omega and the Brain Vitality. Plus you got the Super Shine and the Terminator, which is mouthwash. So that's toothpaste mouthwash. You save $26 by getting this pack, so it's a really good deal. Do keep in mind when you're ordering anything, currently at the moment the prices are all in US dollars, and we do need to wait for the products to actually come over from the US. So yeah, I hope you found that helpful. If you've got any questions, reach out to me, and I would be happy to help. Bless you. Have a great day. And I'll catch you in the comment section. Bless you.